Have you ever met someone and it just felt way too perfect? Like they treat you like absolute royalty, they say all the right things, and you're just sitting there thinking, finally, this is it. But what if that fairy tale beginning is actually a trap? Okay, let's get right into this. This quote right here, it nails a critical warning sign that is so easy to miss when you're caught up in all that excitement. I mean, who doesn't want to feel special? But when that feeling is manufactured at like warp speed, it's often a sign of something much, much darker. So today, we're going to break down the difference between genuine, heartfelt interest and a really dangerous manipulation tactic known as love bombing. So, the very first test, the first thing you really got to look at is the pacing. Is this relationship a rocket ship to the moon, or is it a slow, steady climb? Because honestly, the speed tells you almost everything you need to know, right from the very start. And this, right here, shows the critical difference. See, love bombing is a whirlwind. They're talking about marriage after just a few dates, a tactic we call future faking. It feels unbelievably exciting, but it's not really about you. Genuine interest, on the other hand, is a slow burn. It's consistent. They aren't trying to possess you in a week. They're actually trying to understand you over months. I mean, really think about that for a second. It sounds completely absurd when you say it out loud, but it is such a classic sign. Real love, it's built on knowledge and time. Those instant declarations, they aren't about your soul, they're about their agenda. All right, let's move on to the second major sign. And this one is all about how they see you. Are they falling in love with a real person, flaws and all? Or are they basically worshiping a flawless idol that they just created in their mind? And just to be super clear, we're not just talking about someone being really into you. The source material here defines love bombing as a specific manipulation tactic. The whole goal is to hook you and hook you fast with this overwhelming wave of attention and affection. It makes you feel so special that you completely lower your guard. And this is exactly what that feels like. Suddenly, you can do no wrong. Everything you say is brilliant. Every single choice you make is perfect. They put you on this incredibly high pedestal. And let's be honest, it can feel amazing. It feels like someone finally sees your true worth. But here's the dangerous twist. That pedestal, it's not a throne, it's a cage. They aren't celebrating you, they're creating a fantasy. And the moment you act human, have a bad day, disagree with them, or just need a little space, they suddenly have the perfect excuse to punish you for shattering their illusion. This chart just brilliantly illustrates how they pull it off. A love bomber, they act like a mirror. All of a sudden, they love all your favorite bands, your obscure hobbies, your political views. They become this perfect reflection of you. But a genuine partner, they're more like a window. They let you see into their own unique world, their different opinions and hobbies, so you can actually build an authentic connection. And remember this, soulmates aren't found in 48 hours. They're built over months. Okay, so how can you know for sure? This brings us to probably the most powerful tool you have. Think of it as a little secret experiment you can run that will give you a crystal clear answer. So here's the experiment. Say no to something small. It could be as simple as, hey, I'm a little tired. Can we do dinner tomorrow instead of tonight? Now just watch their reaction. A genuine partner will probably say, okay, no problem, rest up. A love bomber, though, they experience your boundary not as a request, but as a direct challenge to their control. You might get guilt tripping or the cold shoulder or even straight up anger. Their reaction to one simple boundary tells you everything. Is their motive respect or is it control? So why do all this? This is where we have to talk about the ends game. Because love bombing is never, ever the final destination. It's just the first step. This right here is probably the most important takeaway. That intense affection isn't a gift, it's collateral. They are building up this massive bank of your trust, your vulnerability, and your affection, specifically so they can use it against you later. It's the entry point to a much larger, more destructive cycle. And here is that cycle. Stage 1 is idealization. That's the love bombing. This is pretty much inevitably followed by devaluation, where that pedestal falls and the criticism begins. Then comes the discard, where they might abandon you entirely. But the cycle often doesn't even end there. The final stage is hoovoming, literally named after the vacuum cleaner, where they try to suck you back in with renewed promises and affection just to start the whole cycle all over again. So what's the final thought here? Well, the moment that intense, incredible warmth turns into a sudden, chilling cold shoulder, that's your signal. That is the test. It's the beginning of the devaluation phase. And recognizing that shift for what it is, not a misunderstanding, but a tactic, that's the crucial first step to protecting yourself. The real question is, what will you do with that knowledge? Have you
Enjoyed this video? Support the channel by liking and subscribing for more. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and let us know what you think.